Welcome you all here, ladies and gentlemen. Just one clarification. I didn't actually work on IFC myself, but I actually wrote a paper for the Council on Tall Building and Urban Habitat on that, together with Central Plaza and ICC. But because we are on the ICC project, we constantly study IFC as well. Carol told me to talk about IFC and ICC project. So you see the, by now I think you recognize that this is the one IFC, which is 38-story tall, and that's two IFC, which is 88, and the ICC in the far across the harbor is 118-story. I'll start with IFC. The program of this, as you may have seen some of the slide before, this is actually a carriageway, it's a road. So these two pieces are bridges. The one IFC was built first and was completed in mid-98, together with the railway and about 200,000 square feet of retail. And in 2003, the two IFC was completed, and the last phase was the Four Seasons Hotel at the back, and that has 1,000 rooms. And for car park, it has 1,800 numbers, and for the landscape garden, it has 140,000 square feet. You see from this drawing that all the blue are the pedestrian network. So to the north, it accesses to 7 piers, and to the south, it actually connects to Exchange Square, which is property of Hong Kong land. I know James is sitting on the floor. And it also extends to east and west. And the station is actually there. So underground is where you connect to the airport express railway. Oops. And that's an aerial view of the series of footbridges that was described a moment ago, and some of the greening features we have. The two IFC is 420 meter tall, and was designed by Cesar Pelli. And this is a centric form that tapers and set back proportionally. And massing becomes sculptural near the top, and the height is further emphasized by the vertical fins and the increasing lightening of the color as they go up. Some people may not notice that. And this building was actually completed about the same time that ICC was about to start. One of the challenges in the planning of IFC was the circular foundation and the congested master plan offering limited open space and also blocking view of buildings in the development. Actually, when we took over the site, the overall master plan had one more tower than we had now. It was 5 towers, and we reorganized it such that it is 4 towers as it is built now. And at the time when we were embarking on this project, we had to identify the financial tenant specification and the requirements. Remembering that actually in Hong Kong, in that era, this is one of the first really grade A building that would suit the financial tenant's specification. This is a list that we got from our financial institutions' feedback that this is a sort of the wish list that they would like. I don't think I'll go through them one by one since we're kind of tight on time. But having reviewed with those requirements, we actually come up with a plan which has serrated corners that can accommodate corner offices, and structural steels to meet foundation constraint, and training floors as well. The training floors were 3.3 meters in height with 340 mm raised floor, and the typical office floor is 2.7 meters in height, and the raised floor is 190 mm. Actually, later we found that this height is actually a bit excessive, so for subsequent grade A office building, we all adopt 150 to 160 millimeter. They also wanted very high reliability, which means they want 100% backup in power supply, which would result in a lot of plant space that need to be added. The Four Seasons was actually completed last, and because of the tight site area, the effective plot ratio is actually 20. And however, when it was completed, because of the use that is complementary to the office space, it reaches very high rental per square meter. This is the 1,000 room hotel, the blue bar, and the pool deck, which has got an infinity edge to it. Moving on to ICC. The architect is KPF in collaboration with Wong and L. Yang, and structural engineer is Ovi Arab, and E&M engineer is J. Roger Preston. Actually, Leslie Robertson was also our structural auditor, but he's not here today, I think. Vision, when we embarked on the project, we actually didn't really strive to be the tallest in the world, and we have kept around 490 almost all along. But we do want to continue that seamless connection that IFC was successful on, and which many MTR projects are too. And we want to create some star attractions to become the talk of the town. Also high reliability and of world-class quality, including green features provisions. And you've probably heard that many times by now that we wanted to make these two buildings the harbour gateway. And ICC will inevitably become a new business hub and will naturally attract other activities to the district. To give some context, you see the yellow patch is the site, and in front of that the green, the green patch here is the West Kowloon Cultural District, and back there is the existing Tsim Sha Tsui Business District. This is the railway connection and the district line connection, and it takes only 3 minutes between Kowloon Station and Hong Kong Station, and 20 minutes to the airport. And this slide shows that actually to get to the border of PRC, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes depending on which port you want to go, whether it's Lok Ma Chau or the existing Lo Bu station. And the point worth note-taking on this slide is the new Hong Kong. This is the the 3 minute to central of the AER line, but the yellow line is the line that can take you to Guangzhou in 1 hour, and everybody is waiting for that line to complete, and I think it's due for completion in 2014. This is the site that Thomas was talking about 10 million square feet. It's actually closer to 11 million square feet. We were developing over 50% of that. And the package 3, the arch here, is actually a residential project. And this one alone is already 1.1 million. With the remaining 5.5, which is, we have about 3 million over here, 1 million over each there, and 1 million of retail beneath. And you will see that the W Hotel is actually at the base of this tower. And in the midsection, there's actually another hotel called the HARBOUR View, which is run by one of our subsidiary companies. And the color in here is the residential tower for the tower here. Ritz-Carlton is actually located at the top of ICC building. This is essentially what I just described. The building height is 490, and the target completion dates, we already actually obtained the first temporary occupation permit at the end of the year 2007, early 2008, and the second TOP that is coming is scheduled to be middle of next year, with the last phase in tentatively scheduled for February in 2010. This is one of the early KPF rendering of ICC Tower, and on the right is the latest site photo that we took. As I said before, the CFA of this tower is actually more closer to 3.2 to 3.3 million. The numbering of the tower is up to 118, but for those who are interested, the absolute number of slabs is actually 109. The tower has 88 number of lifts, with 14 sets being double-decker lifts, and the tower footprint is basically a 66 by 66 square, with the corners being serrated again. And the Ritz-Carlton room hotels is approximately 300. Paul and KPF helped to design this building, and the main feature of this is the shingle wall and the dragon tail. And this is probably one of the first buildings that had, from top to tail, all in shingle effect. The dragon tail actually covers the lobby, below which is actually connecting to the MTR. And that area is actually about 15,000 square feet. It's pretty large. And you can see from here, this is the MTR connection, and you can come up and get up to the escalator and up to the ICC lobby. And that grand lobby actually runs from something like 12 meters to 38, almost close to 40. And in front of the ICC building is the plaza. This one shows the ceiling height of the different zones. There are 5 zones of offices, and the first 2 zones have a ceiling height of 2.85, and zone 3, 4, and 5 have a high ceiling of 3.15. This, as far as we know, is actually the tallest ceiling height of the Grade A office in town. I think most of them either have 2.7, 2.75, like that. Even IFC has 2.8. So this one is a bit taller. And also another difference between this tower and IFC is that IFC only have shuttle lifts that are double-deckers. The rest of the lifts are single-deck. But this building has also lift zones double deck, except for the last zone, which is zone 5. How they're connected is zone 1 and 2 they don't need shuttle lifts to bring them to change lifts. But for zone 3 and 4, they have to ride shuttle lift to this floor and change to zone 3 and zone 4. And for zone 5, there's a group of shuttle lifts that bring them all the way up to the 81st floor, and then this zone is run by single deck. And again, the span depth is actually ranges from 11.76 to 17.3, and the columns here are actually 2.85 by 2.6, and then it narrows down to about half that size to the upper zones. And between the columns, it is 26 meters apart, clear. The structural system, originally they are all steel outriggers, but because there was a time when steel was of real shortage, so we came up with this solution to use pre-stressed concrete outrigger instead. So the structural system here is a bit heavier than the steel outriggers above, and also the hotel is of all steel structure instead of the concrete core below.